Lie.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? This shit, like I say, man, can't find nothing else better to do my time and goddamn, shine some light on folk, you know what I mean? So, if we is live, then we gon' lie, we gon' ain't gon' lie now, but that motherfucker is.
We lie.
We lie, shit, we lie. I'm sitting here bullshit, we lie. Hey, man, I
I
told you.
said it. I said it live.
And I told you we were coming back, so we did keep our word. A man that don't keep his word, he ain't shit. If his word ain't shit, he ain't shit. Y'all go read James 5 verse 12, what they talk about with the word. Keep your word. Let your yes be yes and your no be your no. So it's important. Keep your word. Men, women, kids, keep your word. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to nobody else. Don't lie to self. Keep it real. Okay. Real fast. When y'all are convinced that the government is bullshitting with this hoax ass, shutdown. Okay, I understand y'all don't know. A lot of people don't know what we know about the government and what's going on. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Once y'all are convinced that it don't matter, then this is what you can do to start a business. You can start a corporation, because a lot of times the general information, when I talk to people about business, they tell me that they go downtown, they go to City Hall, and they get a business license. Okay, and they do that under a DBA. And the DBA stands for doing business as yourself. Okay, so if you do business as yourself, then know that you running this business, and this means that the ownership is gonna come with the territory. Okay, so then when you have ownership, what comes with ownership? Liability. Okay, then so then doing business as yourself, a DBA, means that you're liable for any damages that come with when you're engaging in your business, in your commerce. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to go and you want to register your corporation or incorporate your business with the state. If you incorporate your business with the state, you don't have these issues. Things work a lot smoother. Rockefeller, he said one thing that was true. John D. Rockefeller, he said that the key to true wealth, not the key to being rich, not the key to having, $100,000, them peanuts. The key to being truly wealthy, he said that you want to own nothing and control everything. Okay, so then what do you own or what do you control but you don't own? Well, anytime you register a corporation with the state owns it. All right, so then if we was to go to the Secretary of State office, if we wanted to start a corporation, this is what we'll do. We'll go to the Secretary of State office. We'll request for a go or by mail, and we will request for a transmitter form, which is an application for starting the corporation. We will request for Georgia profit and nonprofit corporation information. We would also request for a copy of an example of the Articles of Incorporation. They'll also provide you with that too here in Georgia. Now, wherever else you're from outside of Georgia, the documents may be named something different, but they all serve the same purpose. The transmitter form, again, that's an application for registering the corporation. They may call it something different in your state. In my state, they call it a transmitter form in Georgia. Okay. Your profit information, profit and nonprofit corporation information, your state may call it something different, but in Georgia, this is what they allow you to have to give you a concise information on what a profit and nonprofit corporation in this state is. And the Articles of Incorporation, which basically acts as the charter for a corporation or the structure for the corporation, they give you an actual example of that as well in Georgia. Again, I'm not sure what they'll do in your state, but they should still provide you with some type of template or some type of example of how you can structure or charter your corporation. After you do that and you register it, usually take about 2 to 3 weeks for you to get your paperwork back. Upon you registering your corporate name, if there are no names like this that's registered in the state that you started in, they will file it and they will give you your paperwork back. They'll also send you a small booklet or a booklet with the statutes, giving you an idea of what the regulations in that state is, the rules when you're engaging in commerce, etc. So you want to make sure you read that, become familiar with that before you go into the business. Don't just start this thing and jump out there in the business. You need to know what you're doing. Don't just take half-ass information and run, because half-ass information gives you half-ass results. We ain't doing it. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We want to start this corporation. We want to get our paperwork back. Once we get this, it's going to come back with what they call an EIN for employee identification number or a TIN for taxpayer identification number. It's going to be a 9-digit number that they're going to give you as an identity for the corporation. You're going to take that to a bank. I will go to, a banking empire such as Wells Fargo. I will go to Bank of America. I will go to Chase. I wouldn't go to a small credit union or other small bank. I would deal with, the empire banks. Reason being is because we're dealing with big corporations. All right. You have various types of corporations. You have what's called the main three that you usually will refer to as being most common would be the S corporation or S corp, which stands for a shared corporation, a C corporation or a C corp, which stands for crash corporation, and an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation. Again, many different types of corporations. Those would be probably your most three common that you would hear. Okay, so based on your agenda and your scope and focus, you would have to deal with the type of corporation that's more fitting for your situation. All right. Once we do this, we want to go to a bank and open up a corporate bank account now, so we can actually function and do business. Okay. You will take your 9-digit number, your EIN or your TIN that the Secretary of State is going to provide you to the bank. You want to ask them to open up a bank account, a corporate banking account for this account, for this corporation. Once they verify, they're able to verify from their system at the bank now. They used to not be able to do that. Now they can tap into the Secretary of State system at the bank and find out whether your corporation is legitimate. Once they do that, they're going to ask you a proposal. They're going to ask you to make a proposal. They're going to speak to you in the terms of how much do your corporation expect to make this year, or how much is your corporation worth. Okay, what they're asking you to do in layman's terms, they're pretty much saying, how much do we need to put on the account? But they're not going to ask you in those terms because it's a proposal. So then basically what they're doing is saying, give a proposal. This proposal is in accordance with Title 12 of the United States Code, Section 1824, which is federal law. Okay, the reason that this is in accordance with this particular law, and that's dealing with the borrowing authority of the Treasury. The Treasury, the federal, which is the head federal bank for the federal government, they're required to fund all state corporations up to $100 billion. I'm going to say that again. Title 12 of the United States Code, Section 1824, it deals with the borrowing authority of the Treasury. And they are obligated, not whether they want to do it or not, they are obligated to fund a corporation for up to $100 billion. You speak English, you get that, they register. I mean, how, y'all, you think it's a game, you think it's a scam or white collar shit. What? Stop what you're doing, write this down, go Google it, research it for yourself. Okay then, so now that we have this borrowing authority law, this proposal is in accordance with this borrowing authority law, and so this is what the banks are doing. The banks are just subsidiaries or subdivisions of the Treasury. All of the banks are under the Treasury. Okay, so all they're doing is functioning business. They're not actually giving you nothing. So don't look at it in terms of them giving you a loan, because it's not a loan. They didn't give you anything. They gave the funds on a credit account to the corporation. So they put air on this account. That's all they did was account. Okay, and now this corporation has the spending authority up to the proposal. Will you get your full proposal? Say if you go in there and you say, well, I want to propose for $50 million. Will you get the $50 million? Maybe. Maybe not. You may get $30 million. You may get $45 million. You may get $16 million. Who give a damn? You got some funds on this corporation that you can use and access for your business purposes to generate revenue. Okay, so it really doesn't make a big deal of whether you want to engage in, public commerce or, however you want to go about the circumstance. It's simple. Create jobs instead of working jobs. Anybody got any questions? I know we can't hear you right now because we're going live, but the brother, if any questions you got on this, brother?
Yeah, the first question I have is, do you have to be licensed? Do you have to have a business license in order to do this?
That's a good question. No, you do not have to have a business license to do this. Once you register with the Secretary of State, the state is insuring you at that point. Okay, so the purpose for a business license is to be insured because the United States government is claiming to be bankrupt. So they're saying that everything that's being done in the public has to be bonded or insured. Okay, so then this is the reason why they tell you got to get car insurance. This is why they tell you got to get, insurance on your health. This is why they try to, inform you to do all that with the insurance because they want you to be bonded because they saying they don't have no money. Okay, so once you register your corporation with the Secretary of State, you are now registered and permitted to practice on behalf of the state.
Right.
So you will need a business license.
Okay.
Right.
So what which court would be the best to go with?
Me personally, I would do a S corp, which is a shared corporation. Reason being, is because I know initially I would be the president and CEO. I would always make myself the president and CEO of the corporation. I would allow for obvious reasons so I could deal with the account. And with me being the only employee at that time or the only shareholder at that time until the business is up and running, then the taxes for the business is going to be at a minimum. Because when it's an S corporation, it's being taxed with S chapter tax status. Okay, which means it's being taxed through its shareholders. All right, so based on the amount of shareholders on the S corp, it's going to be the amount that is going to be taxed in. That's the tax bracket it's going to fall in. A C corporation, which is a crash corporation, is being taxed not on the amount of shareholders, but on the amount of income that it actually generates for that year. That's kind of where you what the name, Bernie Madoff, the old man. Yeah, Bernie Madoff. He ended up they knocked his ass off in the Fed. They goddamn gave him like 165 years, some shit like that. Man, I'm damn near 80 years old when they did it. But he fumbling and bumbling out there with these corporations. Really, I think they were saying he was running a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
And that's some illegal shit. That's some white collar shit.
Right.
Okay, and the guy ended up, not paying taxes on it, stealing money from accounts, and a lot of different white collar stuff. Instead of going there and drawing down on the bank teller, they doing this through machines, through paperwork, etc. And they ended up finding out that he didn't pay taxes.
Right.
Okay, so if you're running a C corp and you're not paying taxes, you don't think the IRS record's gonna reflect that? So that was a dumbass move on his behalf. So people, you don't gotta be scared, because of somebody else. What you need to do with somebody else fuck up like that is learn what took place. Accumulate all the facts and circumstances to the situation. Learn what took place and go from there. Just do the right thing. It's shit easy, man. Just do the right thing.
Right. I got another question. So what do I actually have to know in order to handle this type of business?
I mean, it's really basic, right? I think the most important thing to know is how to first start it. To educate, I would advise everybody to educate themselves on corporations first in business. Even if you're not familiar with the type of business that you're trying to get into. A lot of people are into real estate. So anytime you are you have a certain, liking for a certain situation or subject, or if you like to do certain things, if you have a certain desire to engage in a certain endeavor, not only learn the endeavor, but learn the business side of it, the business aspect. Learn how to protect yourself. Learn how to incorporate the situation. Don't you want the most out of your time? So I think the most important thing with dealing with this is knowing not just what to do, but having an idea of why you're doing it. Because a lot of people can account for the what, but they can't account for the why. Right. So, and that's where a lot of the problems come in. You can account for the effect, but you ignore the cause. Right.
So, when I actually write, who do I actually write in order to start the process?
Well, you're gonna write the Secretary of State. Okay. Each state has a Secretary of State office. Right here in Georgia. We got 2 Secretary of State offices I'm familiar with, Corporation Division. One in Atlanta, and there's one in Macon on Coliseum Drive. So we have, two in this state that I'm familiar with. I'm sure that, in every other state they may have at least two.
Right.
But there's a Secretary of State office in every state. That's who you will go through, that corporation division, to register a corporation.
Okay, so once I start the process, how long actually is the process?
Well, I mean, it's going to take these people 2 to 3 weeks to get your paperwork back to you. You go to the bank, open your account. They're going to send the card to you in the mail. You'll get that anywhere from 7 to 10 business days. So we talking within a 30-day period, you can be up and running. Right. If you ain't dragging, you doing what you're supposed to do, you handling your business, you can be up and running in 30 days. How that sound? Y'all coming out the chain gang, man. For y'all that's coming out the chain gang, man, hey, man, I'm doing it for y'all now.
Yeah, that's the recipe, man. That's the recipe, man.
We dropping jewels on now, because you talking about going out here and picking out this dope, man. Them folks gonna knock your head off out here, man.
Right.
So, fuck the dope. If you want to, engage in whatever you decide to engage in, that's on you. Okay, but what we trying to do is we trying to build a righteous nation. We trying to build something. The only thing we talking about destroying is the devil's uncivilization. So we ain't talking about destroying nothing that shouldn't be destroyed. Okay, but if you got kids, and a lot of us got kids, I'm one that got kids too. Okay, so a lot of us got kids, and it ain't just gonna be good enough just to be on the street. Hey, you get on the street, what you gonna do? Just sit there? Responsibilities is waiting on you out there. So you need to know what to do. You need to know how to help your situation. You need to know how to help your family situation. So part of the way and how we do that is we teach each other. So we ended up letting each other know, on the situation is how we're going to start businesses and how we're going to conduct these businesses. So that's the jewel we dropping on the chain gang.
One more last question. Yeah. Brief. One more last question. So you mean to tell me all of this whole process is going to be free? Well,
the registry, when you register your corporation with the Secretary of State, they're going to charge an application fee. Usually it's an application fee and a processing fee. The last time this was done, to my knowledge, somebody told me it was now in Georgia $250, but I'm not sure of the actual application fee and processing fee total. But there is a fee for the application fee and the processing fee for registering the corporation. However, after you do that, you don't have any more fees, and the only thing you can do now is do great business and live great. That's all there's left to do after that.
What's up?
Right.
What's up?
Any more questions on that?
Nah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was great right there. Yeah, man. Y'all gotta go out there and get that money, man. You know what I'm saying? No more selling no dope, man.
Man, selling dope, man. Hey, man, your ass ain't making $1,000 a day. Get out the trap, man. Them folks gonna knock your head off, and then you gonna get in there and talking about, well, damn, I need to goddamn get my commander. Dennis Shy, but goddamn, David Wolf, man. You got 40 bands to get these folks, man. Brian still ain't taking nothing less than 30 racks, man. So if you ain't making $1,000 in a day, you need to get your junkie, low down, hashtag goddamn straggling ass up out the trap, man, because, that ain't working no more, man. So put the dope down, and let's start doing things corporate. Let's start doing corporate business. Let's start doing stuff that makes sense. Damn just the corporate business. Let's start doing things that make sense. Let's start getting in tune with our original state of being so that we can do things that make sense. And we're going to leave on this, because this is a message to the streets right here. This is a message to all my brothers, because it's a lot of this stuff with the religious thing that got us divided, that got us separated. And they use that as a method for division, okay, to divide and conquer. We ain't alright with that. For all my Muslim brothers, shout out to my brother Lil Terrell now. Yeah, aka Rollo. Y'all know him as Rollo. Shout out to the Bluff. Shout out to Willa, man. Free Willa.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Lil Dominique, man. Hey, man. Shout out to Lil Dominique Carter, man. Shout out to goddamn G, man. Free G, man. Hey, man, shout out to Stank, man. Let's free Stank, too, man. Yeah, shout out to Quisha, Newport. Hey, yeah, you know what's happening this race? Yeah, it ready. Yeah, we back. Yeah, shout out to Mr. Troy. Shout out to that whole 1545. Shout out to that whole Westlake end. Shout out to all that, man. But, again, this is what we got going on. All right? Can anybody tell me what we looking at? We hear about the word Allah in the Mohammedan religion. Some people refer to it as Islam, but Islam is not an actual religion. Islam is a way of life. It has never been a religion. Okay, we see A, L, L, A, H. We see that? Okay, so we just see ALLAH in the palm of a black man's hand. And for the record, that's in every black man's hand. Okay, so now I ask you, where do you think these white folks get the name Allah from to place in a religion? Every black man in the world got Allah in their hand. What came first, religion or man? Man had to come before religion, because who would religion be applying to? Who could have created the religion? Okay then, so what we trying to do, we're not trying to stop no movements. This is what we trying to do. We trying to make a movement. We're not trying to hinder our people. We're not trying to divide our people. We're trying to empower our people. So these folks are realizing that, you know, this must happen. This must happen. So we won't be stopped. That's one. And two, I won't be stopped. And if I won't be stopped, then we won't be stopped. And if we won't be stopped, then you can't be stopped. Okay then, so then what we need to do is come together. We need to all put the minds on one accord. How do we do that? Now, we already know everybody ain't gonna come. We know that. So it's no, man, you know niggas ain't gonna, okay. I'm not expecting for all of the niggas to do that. Harriet Tubman had to Don Constantly niggas too, because they were too weak-minded. They were too slave-minded. So this is gonna happen. However, for the ones that don't need that to happen to them, it's simple. Just do the right thing. Do the right thing. Streets, we love y'all. World, we love you. Shout out to my Tennessee partner. Shout out to that Deuce. Shout out to that City. King Dave, I love you. We got down, you know, in your absence, we shouting you out. You know, we holding it down. You know, the center of the city still here. West Side, shout out to that Bankhead spot, man. Hollywood Road in the building, man. Stand up, man. On that note, we out of here. We love y'all. We'll see y'all again soon, man.
Love.